3. First one, scripting elements. Second one, directives. Third one, actions. How many directives are there? Scripting elements 4. Okay. Scripting elements 4. What are those? Scriptlets, declarations, expressions, comments. How many directives are there? 3. What are those? Page directive, include directive, taglib directive. S directive. Page directive attributes are given. Attributes of page directive. First one, what is the first attribute? Language. Second attribute, import. Third attribute, buffer. Fourth one, auto flush. Fifth one is error page. Sixth one, error page. Say language equal to which language is a default? Java. Import equal to how many package default? 4. What are those? Java.lang, Jakarta.Soulet, next. Jakarta.Soulet.HTTP, next. Jakarta.Soulet.JSP. 4 package default. Buffer equal to how many kilobits default? 8 KB. Auto flush equal to true or false default? Which one default? Auto flush equal to true default. Is error page false default? Okay. Error page equal to URL you have to specify. Yesterday one diagram I given. That program will see. Total 10 attributes are there. 6 attributes are given. Now, first HTML program. Right click, new HTML. Arithmetic.html. Finish. BG color, green, text, yellow. See, arithmetic application. Level 1 heading, underline text, arithmetic application. In this arithmetic, only division operation I'm writing. First number, first form. Here, first number. Input type equal to text. Name equal to first. Line break. Second number. Input type equal to text. Name equal to second. Input type equal to submit button. value equal to something divide. Input type equal to reset. Now here you'll enter first number, second number. Is it confidential data? No. Then method equal to by default, what is there? Get. Is it that is no need to write? Now here action equal to that next program. What is the next program? Arithmetic.jsp. See, whenever you click on the submit button, arithmetic.jsp is going to be executed. Default request type is get. First number, second number received. See this HTML, how it appears. This is arithmetic.html. You will enter first number, you will enter second number, you will click on divide. Then arithmetic.jsp. Okay. If you click reset, erase it. First write this program. Write this program. This is line break 2 times I given. That's it. This is line break 2 times. say it is submit button, the value I given divide. So on button divide appears, but it is submit button only. Whenever you click on submit button, arithmetic.jsp executed. What are these two, first and second? Request parameter names. First number and second number labels. If it is solid, we'll write URL pattern. If it is JSP, we'll write file name. And default request type is get. Okay. Now, arithmetic.jsp we have tried. It is arithmetic.html. Arithmetic.html. Now, is it over? Is it completed? Next, arithmetic.jsp. Right click, new JSP. Arithmetic.jsp. First of all, we have to receive this request parameters. We have to receive these request parameters. How to receive? Get parameter. What we have to write? String S1 equal to request dot get parameter. Parameter name first. Next, string S2 equal to request dot get parameter. Parameter name second. These two we have to convert into integer. How to convert? Integer dot parseInt S1. Next, int y equal to integer dot parseInt S2. Now, int z equal to x by y. This is we have to print. Out dot println z. This total code in which element we have tried? Scriptlet. So scriptlet open, scriptlet close. Scriptlet open, scriptlet closed. Okay. Here, just output. Output that is we are displaying. Now, for this, if you want to design, you can design with HTML. HTML, body, BG, color. Level 1 heading. This program is it task page or error page? Task page. In this program, if exception occurs, I want to execute error.jsp. For that, what we have tried? What we have tried? First page. Next. Error page or is error page? Error page. Error page equal to error.jsp. Is it required to write is error page? No, because default is false. No, it is not error page. No need to write. In this program, if exception occurred, control jumps to error.jsp. Now we have to write this program also. Write this program. We have to write one more program. Error.jsp also we have to write. So first, second, two request parameters received, stored in S1, S2, converted into integer, stored in X and Y. Division operation done. That output displayed. Okay. In this program, if exception occurs, then only error.jsp. If exception is not occurred, this program only executed, this output only displayed and stopped. In this program, if exception occurs, then only control jumps to error.jsp. Okay. Is it over? We have tried one more program. This program equivalent to try block. Error.jsp equivalent to catch block. Now, right click, new JSP. Error.jsp. Next, finish. Here, just I want to display, suppose first number 10, second number 2, 10 by 2, 5. That output printed. First number 10, second number 0, something by 0, infinite. 0 by something is 0, something by 0, infinite. At that time, arithmetic exception occurs. Then control comes here. Then one simple English message you can write. So, scripting elements out.println. Please pass second number except 0. One message. Please pass second number except 0. This is user friendly error message. Now, here page attribute, what we have to write is error page equal to true. By default false, it is true. This one, if you want to display with HTML code you can add. HTML code freely you can write. No need of out.println. Now, right click, run on server, save. Here, arithmetic.html. Now, I'll enter 10, I'll enter 2. If I click divide button, how many programs executed if I click on divide? One program. That is arithmetic.jsp. 10 by 2 output, you'll get a 5. See, output 5. Back. Suppose second number. Now, first one 10, second number 0. If I click on divide button, how many programs executed? 2 programs. What are those? Arithmetic.jsp, error.jsp. Okay. Output from error.jsp. See, please pass second number except 0. Control pass it to error.jsp. That output coming. Okay, that output coming. So, while developing application, suppose 100 JSPs are there. Like this, 100 JSPs are there. In any JSP, if exception occurs, one message I want to display temporarily out of service. That is separate error.jsp you can write. Here, error page equal to this page. Error page equal to this page. Error page equal to this page. Like that you can write. in any JSP, exception occurs, control jumps to this program, then this user-friendly error message displayed. So, suppose in one website, 100 JSPs are there. In any page exception occurred, I want to display one message, service unavailable or temporarily out of service. That is I want to display. At that time, what you can do, one JSP can write to display user-friendly error message. And here, error page equal to this page, error page equal to this page. Like this you can write. In all programs, any program exception occurs, this program executed. Then output displayed. Okay. Write this one. Error.jsp. When this program is going to be executed, whenever exception occurs in a arithmetic.jsp. Now, note down. In the above example, error.jsp executed whenever exception occurs in arithmetic.jsp. In the above example, error.jsp executed whenever exception occurs in arithmetic.jsp. In the above example, error.jsp executed whenever exception occurs in arithmetic.jsp. Now, is it clear? This is about error page attributes. Here, no need, here nothing is there to explain. Whenever you click on this button, arithmetic.jsp executed. In arithmetic.jsp, first number, second number received. String format. Converted to integer format. Divided. Printed. If exception occurred, control pass it to error.jsp. This output comes. That's it. See, 6 attributes completed. Now 7th attribute. Is EL ignored? Write clearly. Write clearly. Is EL ignored? E capital, L capital, I capital. Is EL ignored? Is EL ignored? True or false? False is default. Is EL ignored? Equal to true or false? False is default. Is EL ignored? Equal to true or false? False is default. Now, here, is EL ignored? Equal to true or false? False default. What is the meaning of this one? I'll explain. Write this attribute. This attribute is used to enable, is it to specify expression language This attribute is used to specify expression language to allow in JSP or not. This attribute is used to specify expression language to allow in JSP or not. Now, expression language, one concept is there, JSP expression language. To allow in JSP or not. Is expression language ignored equal to false? Ignored false. Ignored false means enabled or disabled. Here confusion will be there. Now, say expression language ignored equal to false. Expression language ignored equal to false. That means enabled or disabled. Wait 1 minute, wait. Suppose it is JSP. It is JSP. Something expression language. Expression language code. Expression language code you want to allow or not. Expression language code you want to allow or not. That is, you can specify with this attribute. Okay. This attribute is used to specify expression language to allow in JSP or not. This expression language code you want to allow or not. That is, you can specify with this one. Now, by default, false is there. But what is false? Ignored false. Expression language ignored. That is false. Ignored false means ignored or not ignored? Not ignored. Not ignored means working. Enabled. Now, by default, enabled. If you want disable, you have to write this attribute. Got it? Ignored. Expression language ignored. False. That means ignored or not ignored? Not ignored. Because ignored false. Ignored false. That means not ignored. Not ignored. Not ignored means it is enabled. Okay. So is expression language ignored equal to false? That is default. Expression language not ignored. If you want to ignore, you have to write true. If you write true, ignored. Ignored means not working. So note down. By default, expression language is enabled in JSP. By default, expression language is enabled in JSP. To disable expression language, use the following. Is EL ignored equal to true? Is it clear? Any confusion is there now? I given clarity. By default, true or false? False. Ignored, false. That means not ignored. Not ignored. Not ignored means enabled. Enabled. It works. So by default, expression language code, it allows. If you don't want to allow, then you write this one. If you don't want to allow, then you are right. What is expression language? In further sessions, we'll see. So you're learning JSP. You're learning JSP. Next, you will learn JSP using Java beans. Next, you will learn JSP EL. Next, you will learn JSTL. Next, you will learn MVC. Next, you will learn reflection API. With that, advanced Java will finish. Okay. Now, this is one class it will take. This is one class it will take. This is two classes. This is two classes. This is one class. So maximum 10 classes required. 10 working days. Okay. These are just one class, two class. That's it. These are small concepts. Now, while teaching expression language, I'll show you this attribute. Present not possible. Okay. This is 7th attribute. 8th one. 8th one. Content type. Content type. MIME type. Content type equal to MIME type. Content type equal to MIME type. What is MIME? It is used to specify the MIME type. What is MIME full form? Already in solids you studied. MIME full form. Multi-purpose internet mail extensions. It is used to specify the MIME type. It is used to specify the MIME type. Multi-purpose internet mail extensions. It is used to specify the MIME type. Multi-purpose internet mail extensions. Which is default? HTML. Default MIME type is text by HTML. Default MIME type is text by HTML. Default MIME type is text by HTML. Say in solids, which method will call to set the MIME type? Set MIME type method not there. Which method? Set content type. Set MIME type not there. Set content type. Okay. Method name set content type. Here, this attribute you can use. Content type. See. For example, first program, this one, I'll write. Here, page content type equal to application by MS Word. It will display in MS Word. See, right click, run as, run on server, save. Now this output displayed, say first.jsp. Notepad displayed this one. Application by MS Word. Just I'll change the browser. See MS Word, open. See, welcome to JSP. Like this in MS Word, it will display. Example, node. So can I write expression like this? Yes. Otherwise, you can write normal. What you can do? Scripting out.println welcome. Like this also you can write. Example, note on this one. So already given MIME types. If it is MS Excel, What you have to write? Application by msvnd.ms-excel. That is unique. I given MIME types since while teaching solids. Theory part is same. Theory part, whatever you studied in solid, here also same. There is no change. Okay. So you can specify MIME type here. Here out.println. This is 8th one. 9th one. Content type equal to like this. 9th one, session. True or false? True is default. Here by default, session is created and it allows to access here by default session is created and it allows to access JSP implicit session object in JSP. Here by default session is created and it allows to access JSP implicit session object in JSP. If the application does not require session, then use the following. Here by default session is created and it allows to access JSP implicit session object in JSP. The application does not require session, then use the following. If the application does not require session, then use the following. Oh, is it over? See, suppose in this program only, it is scriptlet. Out.println session dot get ID. If I write session ID printed, but by default session created. Say out.println session dot here session ID printed, get last access time or get creation time. Get creation time printed. Out.println session dot get last access time. That is printed. Get creation time, get last access time. These all output you have seen already in the program. But creation time, you must pass this one as a parameter in date class. Then only comes new date. Year, page, import. Here import required. What you have write? Java.util. Now session ID printed, creation time, last access time printed. Now by default, in this program session created, you can see right click, run as, run on server, save. See, session ID printed, date printed. Line break you can write. But line break, if you want to write, how to write line break now? It should be outside now. Now it is scriptlet open, scriptlet close. Now after this line break, if you want to write, what you have to do? How to write line break? Give me answer. Now here HTML, it is JSP, it is HTML. Now I want to display line by line, next line. Then how to write line break? Can I write like this directly line break here? No. Then what do you have to do? We have to close the scriptlet. Otherwise, see, you can close the scriptlet. You can write line break. Again, you can open the scriptlet. This is one way. Otherwise, solid style. In the brackets, you can write line break. Solid style. It is also allowed. While writing solids, we written like this only, no? This is one more way. Otherwise, one more way also possible. What you can do is, this all you can remove. You can write expressions for every statement. Session dot get ID. Line break. Again, expression. New date session dot get creation time. Line break. New date session dot get last accessed time. Like this also you can write. Now you observe. Right click, run as, run on server, save. See, session ID. When created, when last accessed, if I refresh, see, your last accessed time changed. Now, by default, session is working here. If you don't want, what you have to do? Session equal to false. Now, error comes because you cannot call these methods errors. You observe 3 errors. 1, 2, 3. Here, session place you are getting error, you observe. Now, session is not created. Then how can you access get ID, get creation time? This is all error. So, by default, session is true. Suppose if you write true, it works. See, no error. So default is true. Default is true. True, no need to write. If you write also, nothing will happen. But false, if you write, you cannot call these methods. If the application does not require session, then use session equal to false. Write this one. Example. Session equal to false, you ought write. Session true, not compulsory to write. By default, session created. By default, session is created. If you don't want session equal to false, right, then you cannot call these methods also. I written true here, that's working. If I remove this one, also works. If I write false, it doesn't work. Okay. False, if I write, error comes. Why error is? I'm using session. Next, last one, 10th one. Is thread safe equal to true, false, false default. Note down. This attribute is used to specify thread safe mode. This attribute is used to specify thread safe mode. If you want true, you can write true. If you want false, you can no need to write. False is default. What is this? I'll explain. Is it over? Example. Page is thread safe. T capital, S capital. True. This statement indicates web container to implement Jakarta.Saulet.Single thread model interface in a converted JSP, in a converted Saulet. This statement indicates web container to implement Jakarta.Saulet.Single thread model interface in a converted Saulet. This statement indicates web container to implement Jakarta.Saulet.Single thread model interface in a converted Saulet. If the Souled implements Jakarta dot Souled dot single thread model interface, then it allows only one thread at a time. Then that Souled allows, write it. Then that Souled allows only one thread at a time. So by default, multi-threading is there. If you don't want, you can use this. If the Souled implements Jakarta dot Souled dot single thread model interface, then that Souled allows only one thread at a time. In core Java, multi-threading and synchronization you studied. Multi-threading and synchronization. What is synchronization? What is it? It allows only one thread at a time. If the method is synchronized, just one keyword is there, synchronized keyword. That keyword, if you attach to method, that method only one thread can access at a time. See, in core Java, many places synchronized word you studied in collections also. String buffer class, you observe? Synchronized, these all methods, only one thread can access at a time. If many requests comes to access this thread, if many requests comes to access to this method, here already synchronized, it allows one by one. In an internet application, Souleds, by default multi-threading is there. One Souled, any number of people at a time can access. But if you want to allow one by one, this interface we have to implement. I didn't explain this interface in Souleds. Here I'm explaining. If you write is thread safe equal to true, then this interface implemented. If it is implemented, one by one allows. So in a server, once if the application is deployed, suppose application deployed, if many requests comes to access this Souled, by default it is multi-threaded. All requests at a time allowed. But once if you implement this interface, one by one only allowed at a time. See, first this is entered. After completion of this task only, next thread entered. After completion of this thread only, next thread will enter. That is single thread model. But in Souleds, what we have to do? This interface we have to implement. JSP, what we have to do? This attribute you have to write. But this interface does not contain any member. So no methods are there. It is a marker interface. See, Java P Jakarta dot Souled dot single thread model. See, there is no variables, there is no method. This type of interface is called marker interface, tag interface, or empty interface. So no need to write anything. Just implement this word you have to write. Okay. Just write this one. Jakarta dot Solid dot single thread model interface is a marker interface comma tag interface or empty interface because no members in this interface. Jakarta dot Solid dot single thread model interface is a marker interface comma tag interface or empty interface because no members in this interface. Jakarta dot Solid dot single thread model interface is a marker interface comma tag interface or empty interface because no members in this interface. So in Solid program, I didn't explain. If you want to make it single thread at a time, one thread at a time, just implements single thread model. If you write, it works. No need to write any code. Implement single thread model. In JSP, this attribute you have to write. So if you write like this, I given here. This statement indicates web container to implement Jakarta.Solid single thread model interface in a converted Solid. So once if you write like this interface implemented in Solid. If the Solid implement this interface, then that Solid allows only one thread at a time. Okay. This interface does not contain any method, any variable, because it is called marker interface, tag interface, or empty interface. Okay. These all 10 attributes. 10 attributes. It is 7th attribute. It is 8th attribute. It is 9th attribute. It is 10th attribute. 10 attributes are there. Out of 10, which are important, we'll see. Say, first one, language. Is it important? No. Why? Default is Java. JSP supports only Java. That is not required to write. Not required to write. At present, JSP supporting only Java. That to Java default. No need to write. So that is not important. Second one required. Only 4 package default. Remaining package compulsory or import no. So that is important only. Buffer by default 8 kilobytes, 8 kilobits. More than that size if you want, use. Otherwise not required. But auto flush by default flushed. True. Auto flush equal to true default or false default? True default. So 8 kilobytes memory allocated. Once if it is full, then it is automatically flushed. Again 8 kilobytes, again full, automatically flushed. So auto flush equal to maximum cases we record true only. But which is default? True is default. Then no need to write. Okay. Is error page, error page. If you want to write user friendly error message, then only required. Suppose you don't want to write, then no need to write these attributes. By default expression language required. By default enabled or disabled? Enabled. This attribute is not required. Maximum cases content type HTML required. Rate situation other type. At the time you can use. Maximum time session tracking required in a developing application. By default true. No need to write. By default, multi-threading required. We don't require one thread at a time. So in all attributes, maximum times we use only this attribute. Remaining all not important. But whichever default they given, that is only required. Now, language equal to which language default? Java. That is only we use. Auto flush equal to which is default, true or false? True. True required, true only default. Is error page equal to true default or false default? False. We record false only. Is EL ignored? True or false default? False. We record false only. Session equal to true or false? Default. True. We record true only. No need to write. Is thread safe equal to false? We record false only. So whatever we record, that is only given default. RAID situation will change. Okay. In 10 attributes, very regular usage attribute, only this one. Import. Okay. Now you studied JSP elements. How many categories of element? 3. What are those? Scripting elements, directives, actions. How many scripting elements? 4. What are those? Scriptlets, declarations, expressions, comments. Those all completed. Directives, how many? 3. What are those? Page directive, include directive, taglib directive. 1 completed. Okay, that is page directive. Second one, include directive. No. Syntax. Include directive. Like you can write. Attributes. Only one attribute, file. Here you can write HTML file name or JSP file name. It is used to include HTML file and JSP file in a JSP. It is used to include HTML file and JSP file in a JSP. HTML file and JSP files we can include in another JSP. So less than, percentile, at symbol, space, include, space, file equal to year. HTML file name or JSP file name. After that, percentile greater than. This will be out right. Is it over? Suppose here already many JSPs were written, no? Or time.jsp, table.jsp. Okay, these two I'll write here. I'll include. Now just see, observe. Include file equal to time.jsp. Again, include file equal to table.jsp. For this one also some code I'll write. Out.println include directive example. For this HTML code I'll attach. HTML body BG color. If I run this program, semicolon. If I write this one, what will happen? See here. If I write this program include directive example, this program output. This output displayed, this output displayed, this output displayed. 3 programs executed. This program, time.jsp, table.jsp. 3 programs output comes. See. See. Include directive example. This program output. This is time.jsp program output. This is table.jsp program output. 3 programs output in a 1 program displayed. So these 2 programs included here. That is including concept. Write example. So in this total, if I run this program, how many programs executed? 3 programs. This program, time.jsp, table.jsp. So time.jsp and table.jsp included in this program. Okay. Total how many directives? 3. How many completed? 2. For this one, only 1 attribute. File only. That's it. No other attributes. Okay. One more Taglib directive. Is it completed? Next, Taglib directive. Syntax. Taglib. Less than percentile at space Taglib small letters only. Space attributes. Space percentile greater than symbol. Attributes. URI of tag libraries. Tag prefix. URI full form. Uniform resource identifier. While teaching solids, I explained. URI of tag library. Prefix, tag prefix. Noted. It is used to include tag library in JSP. It is used to include tag library in JSP. It is required while using JSTL tags. It is required while using JSTL tags in JSP. Now, present not possible, later. It is required while using JSTL tags in JSP. This Taglib directive present not possible while teaching JSTL. I'll explain. Up to here, directives completed. Okay. We'll see continuation tomorrow. Tomorrow JSP actions. Tomorrow JSP actions we'll see.